Hey, how all doing? Welcome to this, my first Enlight PhotoFox tutorial. So, obviously PhotoFox, it's on a sort of a, you can get a free version, of course, but the Pro Tools are on a subscription sort of base, so I was a little bit against that at first, but I thought I'd give it a try and see what we're all about, and I've been using it for quite a while and got my sort of head around how the way it all works, so yeah, we're ready to move forward with the tutorial. So yeah, here's my first one. I'm going to do sort of a color splash. So let's get on and do it. So let me just close this down. So this image here, I will include it. I will include a link to it in the description of this video. It's my own picture. I took the picture myself, so feel free to use it. If you should use it anywhere, obviously, just give me some sort of mention or something like that, I don't know, whatever. So yeah, so what we're going to do is a colour splash. So we're going to make the background black and white, and then use the foreground, sort of these butterflies. We use the foreground and keep them in colour. So obviously the main difference, or one of the main differences you'll notice with PhotoFox is the layer system. Using the layer system. Now this is something, if you use any sort of Pro Tools or any other sort of image editing app, you'll be used to. So it's quite easy. But just for this one, I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can. So you'll probably be able to do this on the basic version. So I'll just use one layer and work everything on one layer. But just be aware, you could do this on a second layer. Generally, if you're going to use layers and you're going to edit a layer, just copy the layer and edit on top. So you can always go back, and it's just sort of a fail-safe technique that people use. So along the bottom, I've got my layers, I've got my tone, I've got my tools, I've got my add, I've got my artistic, and these all do different things, pretty much the same as Enlight did as well. And we will learn them as we go through different tutorials. So here I just want to, there's again various ways that I can do things. I could do it with, I could make my image black and white with filters, with the adjust tool, with Darkroom, with Duo. I could do it with different ways, but the simplest way, of course, is just use the tool that's there, which is black and white. And now, on the black and whites, again, I'm not too sure on whether or not you'll have this on the essential, this essential drop down, or this cinematic presets on the free version. But if you don't, you can use neutral, which I'm on at the moment. On the bottom left hand side, you can see. But I'm just going to use this ES6, which is Essential 6, and all that does is sort of darkens. If you can look at from the neutral, it just darkens the darker parts of the image and keeps the light ones sort of light as well. Okay, so then we're going to go to Eraser. Now in our Eraser, what we want to do, remember we've just made the image black and white, so we're going to erase black and white parts of this image. Okay, so the way I'm going to do that, and I like to do you can do this quite quickly with PhotoFox. It's quite cool because you can change the size of the brushes. So I'm just going to zoom into my image a little bit by pinching and squeezing on the screen, and then I'm going to go to this paintbrush on the right hand side, and I'm going to drag the paintbrush size up till it's quite big, and you can see my little scale in the center of my screen is on 80 something, and then I'm just going to start wiping over the wings of this butterfly. I'm not really caring too much about going over the lines. It's just a quick way of colouring things in, or as I am doing, as I said we're doing, is wiping away the black and white effect. Then I'm just going to move my screen around and just do the second one as well. And again, you notice I'm not being too careful at all. I'm just going round quite quickly with my finger. So you probably noticed as well, they've started doing online video tutorials for Enlight as well. I do like PhotoFox. I think it's very good. It's very, very powerful. Much more powerful than Enlight. But what has annoyed me a little bit is they've not stopped supporting Enlight as much, but they've stopped talking about it, and they sort of try and push everyone to PhotoFox, the free version, which I suppose people don't like change. Once you get used to something, you want to keep that. So, you know. So now what I want to do is I want to get rid of the parts that I've gone over the line. So now I'm going to zoom in. Let me just make sure all of the outer parts of my image is indeed coloured in, or the black and white part removed. And then what I'm going to do is, you can look at this in a different way. You can click this invert button. You can look, so now once you've done this, you can change it around. So the background is black and white, and then the foreground, or the other part is not coloured. But you can see where I've not coloured here, look. So I'd have to do a restore on this bit to restore the black and white part. But yeah, so you can do that, and on some images it would look quite cool. So I suppose if you're going to do this yourself, if you had a picture of yourself with a bright t-shirt on, if you could like use this colour splash to, I don't know, a bright t-shirt with a logo, or a bright hat on, or something like that, then this would be quite effective. So I'm just going to click invert again to get back to the black and white background, and then I'm going to select restore brush, and I'm going to turn the brush thickness down on my right hand side to about, what, 30, 40, something like that, and just play around and see what works for me. And then I'm going to, so obviously the temptation here is to make the brush really thin, but if you made the brush really thin, then let me find a piece here for you. It's okay in these thinner parts here, but if you were going round and you had it zoomed right in, you'd have to sort of do quite a bit, whereas if we made it a little bit thicker up to the 40s, then we could do it quite quickly. We could get rid of the coloured parts quite quickly, you see. And yeah, I'm just going to continue doing this until I feel that, or I can see visually that I've got rid of all, and the only thing that's left is my butterfly that is in black and white. So you can see there's like quite a bit of on the outsides of this that you don't notice until you zoom right in, and it is quite effective to notice where you want to. So you noticed I went over the wing there, so what I could do is click on the left hand side, click the undo button, and the undo again, and just gets me back to where I was. So you see here the brush, because I've zoomed in a little bit more, I've just increased the thickness, the brush thickness, so it just lets me work a little bit more efficiently with the colour on the just a little bit further away from the butterfly. I suppose obviously making it a paid subscription, and then sort of seemingly forcing everyone down the PhotoFox route can be a little bit annoying. I was with you, or I do empathise. So I will try and do all of my sort of other tutorials that I did on Enlight, and I'll bring them to PhotoFox as well. I see that they've already stolen used my my dispersion effect on the new PhotoFox. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at improving on what they've done and bringing that to you. I've not done colour splash yet, I don't think. But again, this is something, so I will try and keep most of my tutorials something that you can also do on Enlight. So, or I have already done on Enlight. So if you like the tutorial that's done here, just go over to my Enlight playlist, and the old Enlight, or Enlight Basic, whatever you want to call it, just Enlight, and you will see that that's on there as well. So excellent. So these are my two, if I zoom in, yeah, it's all good. These are my two butterflies now in colour, and my background is in black and white. Now you can leave it like this and it does look quite effective. It looks quite cool, really, really nice effect. If you zoom in here, look, it looks quite good. But I'm just going to press this tick button. I want to do a few more things. I'm going to press this tick button up here, top right hand side, and then that will finish off that that sort of effect for me. So, or sorry, finish that sort of session for me. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some light effects, some vignettes and light effects. And again, I don't know if you have this in the basic, but if you don't, I apologize. But yeah, try and follow through as best you can. But if not, this is quite a nice effect, and you can definitely do this in the basic. So I'm going to select my vignette sort of image here, and then I'm just going to change with my finger and thumb, drag it in or out, and I want it sort of around here. These little anchor points on the outside here, I'm just going to drag these out, so it's sort of and what it does, it sort of just moves the vignette areas away, because next we're going to include a light beam sort of effect, or sort of light effects. So I've just clicked the little tick button on the top right hand side, and then I'm going to select this light effects right here, and I'm going to use this ES9 in this just in here, and I'm just going to move it out to the left or to the right, and again pinch and squeeze on my thumb, and it increases or decreases the size of the light effect. So I've just made it sort of maximum, and then I'm pushing this effect just off the screen to the left hand side. I'm going to press the little tick button, and then I'm going to select the light effects down here, ES9 again. I'm going to pinch and squeeze. Just decrease the size of this so it's just a little bit more intense, this light effect this side. So like so. Little tick button again. And then what we can do, I suppose, we could darken it even more. There's this little thing called dark room here. It's quite nice. I definitely don't think you have this on the free version, but yeah, select this dark room, and then on the essential tab, just open up the essential tab, just select the deepen, and this, you can make the darker areas a little bit more darker, and it just looks quite nice. Look, so if we have it like this, look at what it was. So it is just all about what you prefer. It just makes the dark areas a little bit darker. I'm going to select the tick button there, and then to save this out, all we do is we select the little sort of arrow on the right hand side here, and then we just save to camera roll. So we just select and save to camera roll, and we'll have a look at what that image looks like. So this is a really simple color splash, and I'll be back with more Enlight PhotoFox tutorials very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you all soon.